I'm doing channel live stream, so you better get this party started. That's the only lyrical talent or non-talent you're going to see in this vidIQ live stream. Welcome everyone once again. It is Tuesday 11 o'clock here in Vancouver, which means it's time to review your channels. If you are joining this live stream, please do smash that like button to make sure that we improve engagement and we invite more people to this live stream. If you haven't already shared the live stream link, please do so now. If you're watching on the replay of this live stream, then fast forward about 5 minutes where we jump into some actual live streaming channel reviews. And hello everybody in the chat. Welcome to all of you. It is very good to see you today. As per the usual ground rules, let's get through all of this as quickly as we can so we can get into the job of reviewing channels. They are picked based on your contribution to this live stream. So if you are posting right now in the chat, our moderators are going to be keeping an eye on who is contributing with constructive feedback, giving the best advice, or just asking questions. Being part of a community that will help you get your channel picked, as dozens of channels have already experienced in the last few months. A couple of ground rules. If you ask for a review in the chat, that's not going to work. It's going to have the opposite effect. You will be put in timeout by the moderators, and hello to Extra Sessions Media and Doberman Guy, as usual, doing an excellent job policing the chat. But yeah, if you're just going to ask for a channel review in the same way that you ask for sub or you ask for more views, that's not how things work here. You will be put in a timeout and you could be banned from posting comments. General rules, of course: no profanity, no racist remarks, no asking for subs, and no spamming the chat. Super chats are not guaranteed a channel review. We don't want to create a financial barrier to this free service here on YouTube for doing channel reviews. So while super chats are greatly received and will be looked at the end of a live stream, they do not push you up the channel review ladder. I try and spend about 5 to 10 minutes on each channel review, but that often changes as I go into a lot more detail, and I kind of run away with myself looking at these channels, trying to pick out all the interesting things. If you see any interesting tools, graphics, figures, and you're not sure what they are, those are the vidIQ Chrome extension. If you're completely new to vidIQ, we provide hundreds of tools to help you grow your channels. There's a link in the description. It's free to download. So yeah, if you see anything like, wow, what's that big scorecard on the side of a video, that's one of our tools. Download it. I can't review channels with inappropriate content. So if there's any swearing, profanity, or what looks to be awkward graphics, then although YouTube will accept that content, we can't accept it here on vidIQ because I have no idea who is watching these live streams as we carry on. And this is what we are looking for whenever we do an audit. So if your channel doesn't get picked today, then you should look at these bullet points to audit your own channel. The big question we always look at is the value proposition target audience. In other words, when I visit your channel, I need to know, why should I be watching, and who should be watching. That should be defined in the first 5 minutes of looking around your channel, because you have a very short amount of time to capture an audience, so you want to grab them with a hook as soon as you can, whether that's through the channel branding, the consistency of your videos, and the thumbnails. There's all sorts of things we'll look at to try and determine what your channel is about. We'll look at channel layout, thumbnails, content. Is it consistent? Can we put your videos into a random pile and be able to pick out 2 or 3 because of the consistency of your content? And then we'll drill down into specific videos, looking at the video title, the tags, the description, the metadata. How are you helping YouTube to surface your content to the right audience? That's something that's very important. And of course, audience engagement. Are you posing questions in your videos? Are you getting a lot of comments back, likes and dislikes? How polarizing is your content? Because any engagement is better than no engagement. And of course, the usual thing, looking at other points of interest. Is always interesting stuff that come up in the videos, the channels that we look at. So yeah, plenty of stuff worth looking at there from all of the channels that we're going to be reviewing over the next hour, hour and a half. And that's the general bullet points. If you want to add those to your audits when you're looking at your own channel, do so, and we'll probably be doing what I'm calling the vidIQ group therapy session, where I look at your comments and see how you are auditing somebody else's channel as well. Right, just before we jump into the first review, I'm delighted to say we've got a brand new prop in the vidIQ studio, and it's a classic bell. So whenever we look at a new channel, this is what's going to be rung. So are we all ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm sorry if that's just destroyed anybody's ears on earphones, but let's start with the channel which we're looking at first, and here we are. It is interestingly called Mostly Useless. This channel is very new, only 27 subscribers, and if we look quickly at the about section, only 258 views. So we're really starting with a brand new channel here. And they recently started their channel on February the 4th. So we want to be kind to this channel and look at the good things that they've already done in the 2.5 months that the channel's been live. And thank you very much, William Underwood 21. Thank you for the super chat. Very much appreciated right there. So, Mostly Useless. What do we think this channel's about? That's an interesting question to try and tackle first, because Mostly Useless seems to suggest to me some form of prank channel, possibly, like almost a play on words, that you're going to be doing things that are self-deprecating, making fun of yourself. Is that what your channel's about? Well, if we look at the about section, cool and dumb ideas to do with extreme sports, mostly useless videos just for YouTube. I love extreme sports and traveling around the world. So, basic question here, do you think your channel name accurately describes the content that you're going to produce? If it's about extreme sports, then usually people are watching videos about extreme sports because they're death-defying or fantastical, or they make you go wow. Or is it going to be extreme sports where you're having big epic fails and crashes? Maybe you want to emphasize that a little bit more in your channel banner. Include maybe some BMX bikes or some death-defying stunts of you maybe doing a big jump somewhere over, I don't know, a cliff or however. I mean, I can see one here where you're doing what looks to be a handstand in a thumbnail perhaps, or a headstand. So a bit more definition perhaps of the channel. But as I say, this is early days for your channel. You have a channel banner. It clearly says what who you are. But it doesn't really tell you like who should the channel be for and why. You do have a channel avatar as well, so that's a good start in the fundamentals. Playlists, do you have any playlists? We have recent uploads, but it doesn't look as if you've really defined any particular genre that you're going to cover yet. If I look at playlists, do I find any? The answer is yes. So you've done one on the African adventure. That feels more like a blog or a vlog. So are you definitely going to be doing videos on extreme sports? Again, early days on your channel, so you can make these decisions as you go forward. But something to think about maybe in the next 2 or 3 months as you create more videos, like when you really enjoy a video that you've made, is that going to be something that you're going to be passionate about and then start making a series of videos on that particular topic? We look at thumbnails. Obviously, there's probably some work that you might want to do with your thumbnails to start introducing some branding and consistency. My guess is that you are just taking a frame that YouTube suggests to you when you upload a video. So you may want to think about doing a custom thumbnail. That one is an interesting thumbnail in one sense, but it does have you doing a handstand, but it may help you in this thumbnail to have some sort of teasing explanation of what's going on here in the thumbnail, like a crazy day in my African adventure perhaps might tease a bit of a story, which could help there. It looks as if on this one, your very first video, which has the most views, you have done some thumbnail customization because it has some text here, unless again that was a freeze frame from your video. So yeah, definitely a picture of you with a guitar, a picture of somebody in a pool, 2 people stood in a field, they need to tell a better story, like especially here, how to make a bottle go boom. Can you see the bottle in the thumbnail? Is it that tiny little thing down there, possibly? Remember that the thumbnail and the title they should complement each other, and that's your one chance to really sell your story to a potential audience, and so spend time on it. I've just spent about 2 hours on a thumbnail this morning trying to get it right, and it still doesn't look right. But if I spend those hours now and it gets the traction, that could result in thousands of extra hours of watch time later down the road. So something to think about there. So your best video, it looks to be from the African adventure at this point. So you had a series of videos which was doing relatively well. Again, just be careful about perhaps using the part 3, part 4, part 2 in thumbnail, in titles, because I tend to feel as if that means that the viewer has to spend time and effort maybe looking back at previous episodes of the series. So they can be a collective vlog series, but if you include episode numbers, that can be dangerous for previous content there. Right, let's have a look at maybe one of her videos. We'll go with this one, how to make a bottle go boom. And I just would also say that I haven't really seen any extreme sports content yet. So again, maybe think about the overall purpose of your channel. In the long run, we don't want to, again, I don't want to add too many criticizing points at this stage, because you're a new channel and you're still finding your way in this world of YouTube. Now, as we wait for a bit of the video to load up, let's use the vidIQ scorecard to check your video optimization. Excuse me. So the optimization is telling me already that there's not enough tags, and we can see down here how to make a bottle go boom, bottle cap rocket, how to make a bottle explode, mostly useless, DIY. So you'd really want to drill down into these keywords, see if you can find any related keywords. I think if we click on that, we might be able to get the keyword inspector if it's working today, and then it would give you potentially more related keywords, perhaps. So water bottle bomb might be a good one, science experiment. So you can choose maybe the best ones from this collection of keywords to add to what the limited ones that you have so far. And again, our optimization checklist is saying that your description is too short. Description probably wants to be at least 300 characters. So this looks more like a tweet than a description. Just something I found, how to do, and wanted to share it with you. Check out my other videos like African Adventures and Bad Puns. So again, you've missed an opportunity here to reinforce your keywords. It might be something like, in today's episode, we're going to make a bottom bomb and see what happens. This could be scary, for an example of some teasing text in your description. Let's maybe watch the first 30 seconds, see if we can gauge anything from the video.
Hi guys, it's me, Luke, mostly useless. It's at this point that you might be wondering why I'm climbing off the bridge. Well, today I'm going to show you how to make a bottle sound like this. Ooh. Right, so when you've drank all your bottles, you will look like...
So I like the introduction, actually, that you introduce yourself and you basically told people very quickly, this is what we're going to be doing on this video. And you kind of teased what was happening, but I just didn't quite capture it there in the video. But yeah, some good fundamentals to start you off there. This brings me back to the channel name, like Mostly Useless. Is this going to be a video where you something fails and it doesn't go quite right? That's something that you may want to think about as your channel strategy going forward. Still no extreme sports videos that I have noticed, of course. But anyway, let's go back to the good things. You're creating videos, and you've done let's see how many videos you've done in your first 2 months. It's about, you've done 8 videos, so you're averaging a video a week, which is excellent. Video length seems to be relatively consistent, like 4 to 8 minutes in most examples. And I think you're starting to develop, because we can see a thumbnail there that you've maybe created. So mostly useless. I don't think you're mostly useless at the moment. You have 30 subscribers, so you're building a bit of an audience. And let's look at this from another good point of view as well. 7 of your 8 videos are into double figures, and that can be a real struggle for a YouTuber when they're just starting out. So there's consistency there. You're not trying to pile out too many videos. You're letting them breathe a little bit. And so keep producing videos, and maybe think about the things we suggested here, the optimization of the videos in particular, and the branding of your channel once you're a little more comfortable with the video creating process. That's mostly useless there. Thank you very much for the first channel. And the reason I chose mostly useless is because he has been contributing to the chat in previous live streams, and also the Friday Feeling Hangout live stream. And so that's why that channel was picked first of all. So let's choose some more channels which are coming in. And thank you, Doberman. It looks as if you've given me the information I needed to know to review this channel. So if we're ready, let's move on to channel number 2. I wonder how long it's going to take before that gets really annoying. So we're looking at, this time, Gen X Grown Up. You have to grow older, but you don't have to grow up. Looking at media, games, tech and toys of yesterday and today through the eyes of Generation X's. New content every week. So some good fundamentals here in this channel banner, in that we can see in kind of the background, like a transparent background of a Rubik's Cube and an arcade. So we're dating the content in maybe the 1980s, the 1990s possibly. And you have your value proposition. You have to grow old, but you don't have to grow up, which I think is very good. One thing I would maybe think about here, just to try and enhance this a little further, is there's a lot of, it is a text-heavy banner. And so you may want to try and think about how you can combine these 2 sections here to keep it a little more simple, possibly. And we're kind of like next level stuff here. You're doing all the fundamentals. We just need to try and make things a little clearer if possible. Also, another thing I will say, Gen X, because you contacted me earlier on in the week, and I've been looking at our channel a little bit. Your channel is focused on the people behind it. I know you're in front of a camera, doing conversations, interviews, talking about the products. So it might be worth including you in the channel banner, perhaps with your favorite Gen X item, potentially, just as an idea. Let's have a look at, first of all, we'll do your channel intro since you have one. Brilliant. And maybe look at the about section after that. So this is the channel trailer, 30 seconds. So brilliant start already in terms of length for Gen X Grown Up 2018.
No life, no fun. Don't you know that you're a grown up? No games, no puns. Not allowed if you're a grown up. No more watching shows till sunrise. Unacceptable for grown ups. Your dinner cannot just be French fries. Basically, life sucks as a grown up.
Okay, so the channel intro there is 85% complete. I think the one thing you're missing is, who are you? I think definitely there's some narration that's required here. Maybe even the first 5 to 10 seconds where you're stood in front of a camera saying, "Hi, I'm whatever your name is. Welcome to Gen X Grown Up. Here's what we do here," or something along those lines, and then maybe carry on the narration. We see a lot of clips going through very quickly, so we can date the topics that you're looking at. But it might be worth you just saying, like, what are you most passionate about, or an interesting fact about the Rubik's Cube, or like how many arcade machines you own, or something like that, just to solidify the channel in that sense. But again, fundamentally, 85% right, good B-roll, high octane. I like the music, which is very appropriate as well. But introducing yourself a bit more, getting to know the personality before we have to view a video, potentially. Just have a quick look at your about section. We're Generation Xers who spent our childhoods immersed in music, movies, games, and pop culture in the late 70s, 80s. All of that stuff has shaped who we are today as adults. Okay, that seems pretty good as an explanation. So all of these nostalgic things are still very much part of our lives as we live them today in the 21st century. So, yeah, you could basically include that sort of narration in your channel intro, and that would be a really good way of summing up who you are and get a chance for us to officially meet you. In terms of playlists, you've got most recent uploads here, so we can see that you're fairly frequent with your contents. So yeah, what's that, 4 videos in the last week? And then you have playlists for specific reviews on certain things. Oh, I remember playing Double Dragon. I think Double Dragon 2 was one of my favourite beat-em-ups on the NES. I'm getting nostalgic myself here. Lots of playlists. One thing I may consider suggesting with your playlists is taking out GXG, because not many people are going to be searching for Gen X gamers. Again, I talk about this in playlists a lot, is that people tend to use playlists as folders in Windows Explorer. They name it something that's relevant to them, but it's not relevant to the YouTube search engine. So like Comic Sans, like what does Comic Sans mean to me? It means absolutely nothing. It looks like an episode where you maybe review recent films or nostalgic films or something along those lines. So yeah, just maybe rename those titles and give them a description as well, because again, I don't know what Comic Sans is about. Do I really want to click on something that I don't understand as a playlist when it's on episode episode 6? Possibly not. So just some little tweaking there, maybe on all of these playlists. Like GXG road trips means absolutely nothing to me. It might be best if you if it was more general, like convention road trips or nostalgic video game road trips, just to give it a little more specific search engine optimization potential. Let's have a look at your videos, get an idea of your thumbnails, and I bet you can probably guess where I'm going to go with some of these thumbnail suggestions. And that would be, why do we not see more of you possibly in the thumbnails? There are occasional ones here where I think you're in the thumbnail there and there and there. But then there are, what, 60 to 70% of the thumbnails maybe don't include you. So I think maybe there is a decision to make there about whether you want to be in front of the camera for the thumbnail or not. I guess I'm thinking again about how to personalize your content and make you a bit more of a brand. This thumbnail here is excellent. It has the we can clearly see what it's about. It's a review of the phaser in Star Trek Discovery. But would it be better with you maybe holding this gun, or like a curious pose or a quizzical look? There can be arguments for and against that, because in this example, the thumbnail is very clear and it stands out a lot. But here's another question as well. You're covering Generation X stuff, but Star Trek Discovery it has its attachments to Generation X, but is that a very current thing now? I'm not sure. And then if we go through the last 5 videos, it's Space Invaders Dice, Bob's Bad Day on the Amiga, the Last Geek Fuel monthly subscription box, a Star Trek phaser, and then looks like you've been on a road trip to a convention. We're covering a lot of different topics here, on all attached to this Generation X one, but are you asking too much of your audience to maybe make that leap from one topic to another? It may be just as a thought that you could concentrate on a specific series or a specific theme for a month, just to see if that makes any difference to the content, because you have 500 subscribers, but well, you're probably getting about what 20-30% view rate on each of these. But yeah, like we got live streams of Far Cry. Does Far Cry have anything to do with the Generation X? I guess your channel is about Generation X people trying to come to terms with, well, looking at nostalgia and looking at all these older products like the Space Invaders dice, but also trying to integrate newer video games into it as well. I'm just not sure if that's going to keep your audience connected for everything that you do. There's a lot of things going on here. That's, I think, the summary of the thumbnails, the content that I can see here. So I'm going to look at your most popular videos and see where you had some success. So the most popular videos, like the most popular video has you in the thumbnail, and yeah, we can see like in the top 15 videos are more predominantly have you in the thumbnails. What I would say about 60% of them maybe. So that's something to potentially track. So let's now. I would guess the reason why this video has been so successful is because the Zungle Bluetooth glasses. I've never heard of it. It's probably quite a niche product, but a lot of people have wanted to know about it. And you produced a video right when it was hitting its a trending point. I mean, let's just have a quick search for Zungle. No idea what this is, but I would guess you've ranked very highly for it. Let's see if we can find you. Are you in the top section? Maybe I'll have to investigate the video itself. Oh, there we are. So this is a good example, and I've just been editing a video about this where smaller channels can get, like in your case, 25x your view counts versus subscribers, because you identified a particular niche item and really drilled down and focused on it and produced a video probably just as it was coming out. Maybe it looks as if other ones, like this one with 47 subscribers, got 24,000 views, so it was definitely a trending thing at that point, and you were able to capitalize on it. I guess the problem is when we talk about a specific item, is it part of a Generation X thing, or did you buy it, or how did that tie into the Generation X theme that you have there? But yeah, just going back to summarizing your most popular videos, it looks as if you are mostly in the videos in some capacity. And there was another one here where you had a drone, and it must have been, again, a bit of a niche product that you were able to get higher up in the search rankings for. So maybe we need to go back to what you're going to be covering, even if it's nostalgic things or replicas of nostalgic things, something that are coming back into vogue. Maybe you need to think about the trending topics that are going on there. I think in general, I would say that there seems to be a lot of different series that you have, and quickly looking at your channel, I'm finding it a little difficult to follow which series are the most important or how many series you have. Just looking at, you have what, the grown-up series, is it? The Comic Sans series, conventions, top things you learned about growing up in a Generation X, so that's like a vloggy one. There's lots of different themes coming out of this channel. But again, just remember to go back to the basics. Like, you're doing thumbnails which are relatively good, and you've got pretty much a consistent theme and branding going on, especially with your logo in there. Some of the thumbnails are a little busy at times, but they're generally good. Like, this is a really good example here where it's just a picture of you with a product, well zoomed in, and the background's fairly plain, so it contrasts well against the foreground. A good example. Right, I'm going to look at one of your general videos from the last couple of days. see what we can find out here about the metadata. Let's have a look at... I'm just waiting for the video length to pop up here so I can work out which one might be a good one. So your general video length tends to be, unless it's a live stream, in the region of, what, 8 to 12 minutes it looks like. So I think this is a good one. Be interested to know what tags you're using here, because are you using tags which are trying to appeal to a nostalgic video game fan base, or are you trying to use tags which relate to Double Dragon, which is a beat 'em up, so action, violence, combat, that sort of thing? Let's check. What your tags are. Okay, this is interesting. So, are you still trying to latch R, right? Are you using some default tags for all of your videos? Because I'm seeing here your drone tag, the Zungle glass sunglasses. Are you trying to attach your completely unrelated content to your most successful videos content? That's probably not a good idea. You're probably confusing YouTube here in how to categorize your content. If I was you, I'd go all in with the Double Dragon brand, the Double Dragon tags. Let's quickly see if we can do a search. Sorry, mostly useless. I'm going to have to... remove your channel here, but I'm just going to do a quick search for Double Dragon and see if we can look at some key inline keywords, find out what other people who've got lots of tags, what they've been using. So yeah, you maybe want to using things that relate to Double Dragon specifically. That would be Double Dragon video game, Double Dragon, a Nintendo Entertainment System. It's a bit more broad, long tail. It might be Double Dragon beat 'em up, Double Dragon NES, Double Dragon Amiga was it on? I can't remember. What else do we have? There's potentially, like, this channel's got 60,000 views on a playthrough with Double Dragon. Another thing to also mention is, wow, was that a movie called Double Dragon? The things you learn on YouTube. I bet that's really terrible. Maybe you should do a review on that video, on that film. I mean, there looks to be potential opportunities here for using keywords that are very specific to Double Dragon and establishing yourself somewhere in this list. There's always a question of who's searching for this. That's the one thing to possibly be concerned about. But there's some really good keywords to look for here. But then it'd be even more specific than what I'm seeing here. And by the way, Double Dragon 2 is the one that I used to play on the NES, and I love it. But there seems to be some high searches for it. Potentially over 1 million searches. So I think there could be opportunities here for you to maybe establish something if you optimize it a little better, potentially. Let's just go back to it now. But yeah, I'm looking at like anything from like here downwards. Arcade Classic, Zungle Panther Review, Far Cry 5 gameplay. I mean, all of these tags are completely irrelevant and are not going to help this video whatsoever in terms of optimization. Now, your video optimization is generally good. It's saying that your title is too long. The reason it's saying that is probably because when people look at a preview of your video thumbnail and title, they may be able to see just that part of your title and the rest is cut off. So sometimes it may be fine, like Japan playthrough is maybe acceptable as something that we don't see on the video here. How many times have you wanted to walk down a dangerous street with your best friend and punch, kick, and toss bad boys around? Well, a Gen X grown-up crew has been doing it since 1987 with the Arcade Classic Techno's Japan Double Dragon. So I think there's more opportunities here to add more keywords like a Double Dragon on the NES or whichever version you're playing, just as more ideas to optimize your keywords. Right, I'm going to play... Is this going to work? It seems to be still loading. I'm going to try and play 30 seconds and see what happens.
Hey there, welcome to Gen X Grown Up. I'm John.
I'm Mo.
And we are Gen X Grown Ups. We are here today
we are.
taking a look at Double Dragon.
Oh yeah, one of the first fighting games I think I played.
So you have the classic, maybe I should not pause it on there when we can see that. Let's just jump forward a little bit. So you have the classic YouTube intro where you like have a bit of a teaser of some kind, and then the your splash intro, which I think was about 5 to 8 seconds, and then introducing yourself. And this is kind of like the first time I get to hear your voice. 10 minutes into this channel audit, we're now seeing more about you, and it looks as if you have a friend or host or another member of the Gen X team, so certainly something to think about adding this person to your branding as well a little bit more if possible. I think the intro was a bit weak as well. If I just go back to here, let's play this first 5 seconds. Again, maybe an opportunity for you to have yourselves commentating on this, or a reaction, or like the best bit from your video, some sort of teaser there might have been have a bit more impact. But yeah, again, generally the video format seems fine there, and you have a 15-minute video. I mean, like, what's the average view duration here? That's actually quite good for a 12-minute video. Like, you're getting up there to 40%. So I guess, is this your core audience really investing in your content maybe? And yeah, so you're getting some. So you're getting a high volume of engagement as well. Like you're getting a comment every 4 views, which is good. And I can see that you're hearting the comments and you're engaging. So presumably these are people who are watching your content on a regular basis, and you're interacting with them well. I'd say what you're missing out on here is potentially optimization in terms of telling YouTube exactly what this video is about. Like Double Dragon, that should probably be the first phrase in your title to front load the keyword. And so when people are searching for Double Dragon, especially when it's a new video, that's what you're going to probably be in this list here as a new video. I'm just going to search for it again. So at the 1 million views, 160,000 views, 85,000 views. So there's one here. How on earth that is in the Double Dragon search terms, I've no idea. But here's another video with 7,000 views. So there is potential here for you to get on this list if you just optimize your content a little better. So we know that it's about Double Dragon. I think that kind of feeling disseminates throughout the rest of your content in some ways, in that I'm never quite sure what the series is about, or the thumbnail is. Let's just go back to some of your thumbnails and see if we can riff on that idea a little bit more. So yeah, Space Combat at its tabletop finest. I'd probably maybe reverse the title here, like Space Invaders Dice is Space Combat at its finest, or Tabletop Space Combat at its finest, and turn it into a question as well. Like, you're gonna answer this, rather than maybe giving away a bit too much information there, potentially. Retro gaming system that fits in your pocket, yes. So here's a classic example. Now you can't see this because on the mouse over it's not showing the full title, but the full title of this video is Retro Gaming System That Fits in Your Pocket, ? Yes, please, Blaze Tab review, but Blaze Tab is cut off. So that'd be better if it was a Blaze Tab console. Blaze Tab, the retro console that fits in your pocket, maybe a bit snappier with that channel, with that video there. So I hope Gen X, there's some food for thought there. There's lots of great stuff on your content, great content on your channel, and perhaps maybe it just needs a bit more optimizing to make sure that when people are searching for this potential content, that they find it. Thank you very much for putting yourself up there for review. Right, who do we have next in the channel reviews? Moderators, if you want to send me one. Let's see who else can get some help here at vidIQ. Just loading up here in the background. If you are enjoying this live stream, of course, with my invisible cup, do make sure to smash that like button and share the content around the YouTube universe. I'm trying to remember to get all these call to actions in this time. Okay, I think the next channel is just about ready to be viewed. So, if you are ready, I'm ready. 3, 2, 1. We're looking at Garage Time. 109 subscribers. Just find out how old the channel is. Okay, so not sure how old the channel is. You've maybe been on YouTube for a long time. 23,000 views. Welcome to my weekly video series documenting the restoration and customization of my classic car, an air-cooled Porsche 911. Okay, so this is very specific. Very specific channel about the restoration of a Porsche 911. I mean, if that's the case, we'll find out when we go into your videos a little bit more. If your channel is restoration on an air-cooled Porsche 911, I would make that the focus of your branding everywhere. It's very niche, but if you are the place for maybe 5,000 Porsche enthusiasts wanting to restore their 911, then if you like plaster that all over your channel, then you've got a much better chance of being clearly identified as that. One thing here, I guess enthusiasts are gonna be able to understand that this is a Porsche. It might be a little too abstract, that banner, and it doesn't have a banner name, and it doesn't really give you the value proposition of your channel. So an opportunity here to say restoring the love of my life for Porsche 911, or whatever your value proposition wants to be, the what and the why. You want to include that there. Let's go to your channel layout, see if we can work out a little bit more about your channel.
Hey Porsche fans, I want to tell you about my new YouTube channel, Garage Time, where we take this old Porsche 911 and turn it into something fun to drive.
Garage Time.
Very succinct channel intro. If it was made a month ago, maybe you want to make another one when you've got some B-roll. You could maybe make the channel trailers a little longer. This is very rare that I suggest a slightly longer channel trailer. I think it's got a very good introduction. It's just 10 seconds long. You could probably add a little bit more about maybe the specific things that you're looking at with the restoration of your vehicle. Yeah, just a B-roll. So we're seeing a bit of a story here of how the Porsche 911 is coming together. But that video was made a month ago, so I'm assuming that your channel's relatively young. We'll find that out very soon. So, yeah, again, it looks as if in the playlist, this Project 911 Porsche thing is very much the big thing in your interest. Now, let's... so, you've got your playlist of what you're working on now, which is fine. It is almost basically welcome to Garage Time. This is what we do here. And uploads, so you've got your most recent uploads, which you all tend to be doing on a regular basis. Right, okay, this is interesting here that this video's got 3,000 views. Let's have a look at potentially why that may be. Yeah, so it's a relatively new channel. That's something to think about. So you made a couple of videos like 9 years ago and then didn't think about it any further. So it is all about this, more or less, this Porsche project. So what I would be thinking about doing here is, even if it's a project, and even if there's going to be multiple parts to it, I would try and hide the fact that this is a series of videos about the same thing in that there are certain parts to it. Because if let's say I'm searching for the long hood extension panel, and I see this video that says part 6, I, as a quick viewer, might think, what, there are 6 parts to this? I don't want to go back to part 1 and have to watch all of it. I would try and encapsulate each of these videos into separate stories, and you can just include the fact that it's a vlog and a progressive series in the video content once the person is invested. So maybe think about removing these part 3 and part 4. It might be just more Porsche 911 new panel hatch, because if that's what somebody's searching for specifically, that's what they're going to want to see. Something about the Porsche panel hatch, for example. The text colouring, it does mean that you have some theme there and a bit of branding with a consistent red and purple. But I'm not sure what they add to the title, because you're just repeating the text here and in the title. I would be much more interested in a closer picture of this panel hatch here, rather than a picture of the background, which is the panel hatch looks as if it's blended into the background a little bit. This is like a slightly better one where you have it zoomed in a little more with the panel hatch. Is it all on the panel hatch so far? Is that the first thing you're working at? Yeah, I just think generally a more focused image on whatever you're talking about in your videos would be better. So let's now try and decide. So why did this video here get 3,000 views, whereas the rest of your videos are sort of getting maybe a couple of hundred? That's interesting to know. Is it because that this is a trending topic? I'm going to try and use some German pronunciation here. The Luftgehalt 5 air-cooled Porsche show. So this is actually a show that you went to. So that must have been trending at the time a week ago, and that's perhaps where you've got it. And just the fact of a very simple thumbnail, but it clearly shows you what it's about, and maybe that's why it was successful. Let's have a quick look. Let's see if it's because you have some trending... Oops, that's not going to work. Let's see if it's because you have some trending tags there. You picked up on a trending topic, and maybe you had some access to this show, which enables you to get a bit of a boost on your channel. Well optimized, by the way, there. It's good to see that you're including cards, end screens. You maybe need to do a bit of interaction with your audience, reply to comments, heart them if you need to. Yeah, it looks as if here it's because you had these keywords and they all ranked #1, which means you're getting lots of nice search results. Is there potential to do a follow-up video on this? It would be fantastic if there is. If you've got more content about this thing, this air-cooled Luftgehalt thing, then absolutely, definitely produce some content, more content if you have. Yeah, I mean, I'd be tempted to reinforce that keyword as well, like that keyword plus air-cooled, and move away, like vintage racing, classic car. Maybe you can include them as well, but they're, again, big ticket keywords, and I'm not sure what impact you will make on them. But it looks as if there was some, yeah, so a recent event, you had access to it, and you've ranked high, and you've got good content because you've got virtually no dislikes. I'd say that's very well done, and an average view time here as well of 41%, which is again pretty good on a 10-minute video. So as another arm to your Porsche project, that's definitely something to think about there. I will also say this as well about your content. You tend to be getting more views than subscribers, which is always a good sign. 111 subscribers, but you're getting 120 views, 180 views. So are you getting the same people coming back over and over again to look at your content? It sounds as if you may have a somewhat of a core audience here. Try and steer away from maybe the super short videos. You're not going to get much watch time there unless it's like for a very specific reason, or I can see, so you're doing something in a minute, so maybe you want to have a minute series. We actually do that here at vidIQ, where we do these one topic in 60 seconds things on YouTube, which is quite popular. But just be aware that you won't get that much watch time from them. I'm just going to have a look at another one of your videos here and see what sort of tags you're using in this particular video. So this will be you're doing a series, a continuing series. So I assume you're going to be using similar keywords. And yeah, so metalwork, auto body, auto repair, Porsche Classic. I will be pushing the Porsche aspect of this much higher up the list. So it might be Porsche 911 metalwork, Porsche 911 auto body, Porsche 911 auto repair, Porsche 911 sports car. So these longer tail keywords that are very specific to the project that you're working on, instead of cars, tuner, lightweight, horsepower. They're such loose keywords that I don't know how well they will be supporting your confidence. So yeah, in this episode, is Porsche 911 anywhere in that description in the first few words? Not sure. It doesn't look like it. You've used it a little further down. So yeah, I think Garage Time, you have some great potential here. You've already got an interest in your content. It's more people and subscribers watching your videos, and you're getting like a couple of hundred views per video. I think you need to go all in with this. If you're going to be restoring this Porsche for a while, over months, with this content, maybe you want to rebrand yourself as looking at this. Or if you're going to be if you're going to be restoring classic cars, maybe you want to call yourself the Classic Car Restoration Channel or something a little more catchy than that. Garage Time is perhaps a little too broad in terms of your branding. But some really positive things here. And I think if you continue to work with this series and optimize it a little better, it's going to start to grow quite significantly. You'll see the view counts maybe doubling, and enthusiasts really joining and building up a fantastic community. So well done there. Congratulations, Garage Time. Keep it up. Okay, that's another video done, another channel done and dusted. I'm just sorry, when I check my watch, it's because I'm getting notifications from the moderators. So it's not that I'm ignoring it. It's actually because I can see the notifications on my watch, which then tells me to look at a certain channel to see who else I can review. So Extra Sessions Media, yours was the last channel, so we'll take one back. We'll take one from Doberman if you have a channel ready to review. Doesn't look like it, so we're going to go back to Extra Sessions Media, who does have another channel lined up for us. Thank you very much. Yeah, so Doberman, if you can find the next channel from our wonderful community to review next, I will certainly take yours. But Extra Sessions Media is making sure that we have a channel to look at next. Do a little bit of cleaning up of my tabs so the computer runs a little faster. Okay, next one coming up. Are you folks ready for that wonderful noise? 3, 2, 1. We are looking at Razy, and it's very clear to see immediately that this is a gaming channel because of these nice graphics. You love gaming. Suppose maybe if we get to get this a bit more specific, we have hundreds of thousands of gaming channels on YouTube right now, and they all love gaming too. So do you love anything in particular? It looks to me here that we have a bit of a dichotomy of interests, because I know a little bit about gaming myself, being more or less Generation X. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. We've got a GameCube controller, a PlayStation controller, a Sega Saturn controller. I've not seen one of them for a long time, and an N64 controller. So all of these are older video game consoles, a bit nostalgic. However, when I look down here, I'm seeing Black Ops thumbnails, and it looks like Fortnite thumbnails. Yep, Fortnite Battle Royale. So do you need to rebrand your channel a little bit? The channel currently has 1,200 views. Now, this worries me a little bit, and I will say why. With 350 subscribers and 1,200 views, how did you amass so many subscribers with so few views? I'm a little worried that there's been some sub going on here, or other nefarious ways of getting subscribers. So if you are getting subscribers, I mean, it's clear to see that probably a lot of these subscribers are not invested in your channel if you've only got 1,000 views. So something to certainly think about. Welcome to the best place for Call of Duty gameplay. Well, it doesn't look as if it's Call of Duty anymore. So some basic things that you need to maybe update on your channel. I mean, it's fantastic that you have the channel banner. It looks as if you're producing good thumbnails. You've got a description. Probably needs a little updating. You play on a PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox 3, PlayStation 3. So these controllers are from consoles that you don't play on anymore. So, yeah. The graphics, the branding is telling me one thing, the description is telling me another. And when you're a gaming channel, you've got to be really focused and know exactly who your target audience is when you are trying to reach that audience. Back quickly to the channel layout. You've not really done anything with your channel layout yet. So a channel trailer, playlist about your best contents, what you're particularly covering. I guess the next question is, do you have any playlists at this point? You do have some playlists, and I'm delighted to see that we are here in the like section. So thank you very much. Big thumbs up there. Very much appreciated. So you have Fortnite gameplay, Black Ops Zombie 3, Rocket League. So I don't play games anymore, but I know that these three games, Fortnite, Rocket League, Black Ops 3, are huge on YouTube right now. Almost every video creator who wants to try and establish themselves in the gaming sector of YouTube is trying to make content on these. So how can you differentiate yourself from those other people? If it's gameplay Fortnite, again, there's thousands of channels doing gameplay Fortnite. Is there something specific in Fortnite that you've discovered that may be worth sharing with your audience? Really drilling down, really focusing, narrowing your content to find out what they are most interested in. Right, so thumbnails, let's have a look at them. It's one of these examples where these thumbnails look fantastic. Very well, some of them do, some of them don't have any thumbnails. So yeah, make sure you always brand your content with the thumbnails. So we have thumbnails here which have these big, bright, vibrant fonts, and presumably you're taking images and doing blurred backgrounds and making them really bright, and they stand out. The one question is, if you put all of these thumbnails into a random list, could you actually distinguish whether these thumbnails are from your videos or from another channel's videos? Because as good as they are, I don't see much consistency or branding between these thumbnails. So definitely something to think about when you're making these thumbnails. As fantastic as they are, make sure that they identify clearly your channel when you do that. And yeah, I guess the other question is, why do some of these thumbnails have no why do some of these videos have no thumbnails whatsoever? So here's a good example of trying to tell a good story with a thumbnail and a title. You say this is dumb. Now that's kind of a teasing title. Like, I'm now thinking, well, what's dumb? In the thumbnail, you don't extrapolate on that idea. I'm using some very technical, some weird jargon here, but you don't extend or explain or tease what might be dumb. It would be better to have, like, let's say it's dumb that a house fell on your head while you're playing Fortnite, or you lost all your weapons or something in some weird bug. That needs to be illustrated in the thumbnail to reinforce the title, and that would be brilliant. I mean, this is a better thumbnail, and it's probably the reason why I've got 148 views on this one compared to 20 views on this one. Killing them all, a gun firing a weapon. That what? Only 0.0001% can do this. So you're teasing a better story of maybe you had an epic game of Fortnite where you did spectacularly well, and that is a more clickable thumbnail. So this extends to any thumbnail on any channel. The title should maybe ask a question, tease some information, whatever you want the thumbnail, whatever you want the title to do, make sure it does that, telling a story or hinting at a story, and the thumbnail complements it, like this video has done. And then, yeah, just like the difference in thumbnails. So Fortnite for like this one, and this one, Fortnite montage, killing them all, Fortnite battle royale. All of these thumbnails are very different in theme and taste, and that can be not good for channel branding. And then some again just have screenshots. So consistency in your thumbnails is certainly required, and also consistency in how often you post. Quick look here, 2 months ago, 1 month ago, 1 week, 9 hours, 7 hours ago. So all of a sudden in the last two days, you've posted 2 videos, which is interesting. It'd be intriguing to know why you've done that. Do you suddenly have some time? If you're struggling for consistency, you could try and batch some videos up together and post them once a week, perhaps, so your audience know to come back every week to see if there's any new content. Let's check. But again, going back to some fundamentals here in your channel, you have some excellent graphics here and some really good artistic work. I would just wonder, this says copyright here. I'm a little worried that you maybe, how shall I put this, borrowing graphics from somewhere, maybe borrowing thumbnails. So just be careful with that, especially if, is all of this your own work? That's another question that I'm asking again in my head, along with the suspicious number of subscribers. Let's have a look at this one then, this video here, and see if you're optimizing your content at all. Because it's a good title, fairly good thumbnail, it's one of your most successful videos, but there is optimization opportunities here. Cards and end screens. Make sure you include cards in your videos. Good rule of thumb is check your average audience retention. Let's say your average audience retention is 2 minutes. Maybe add a card in at 1 minute 55, which gives the viewer an opportunity to go watch some more of your content, rather than just ending the session and leaving YouTube, which is very bad for your videos. End screens as well at the end. If somebody's managed to get through to the end of one of your videos and they've really enjoyed it, then you want to be pushing them to more of your content. So these fundamental things that take 5 minutes once you've uploaded a video, make sure you're including them in your content. Average view duration seems quite low here. So is that because maybe you're not introducing yourself in the video, or the structure of the story doesn't quite fit? Things obviously to certainly think about there. Video tags. See, do you include some do you include a Fortnite one? Yeah, Fortnite Battle Royale, how to get a victory royale. So you're including some longer tail keywords, which is good. Probably want to just I can see here you've got PS4 share there. So this might be one of these issues where you're sharing content directly from your PlayStation to YouTube, and I guess that makes it a lot more difficult to optimize your content in terms of tags, titles, and descriptions, because maybe you're having to type all of this out on a controller rather than a keyboard. So again, something that I need to be aware of with different channels. Let's look at your first 20 seconds, see what we can find out.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a horse, jingle bells.
So my thought here is, are you doing any narration in your videos? I'm just going to jump randomly. Doesn't sound if there's any narration in here, so that's probably why people are dropping off. And when people don't usually want to just sit and watch gameplay from something like Fortnite. They've probably seen all sorts of gameplay, and they watch it themselves. They want to see reactions, commentary, something that adds value. Excuse me, to the topic of Fortnite. So maybe now's the time to get that microphone switched on and talking a little bit more in your videos to explain what you're doing, just as a thought. And again, I always look at these videos in isolation, and it may be that you do commentary on all your other videos, but as I look at this in the first 5 to 10 minutes, I'm trying to understand as much as I can and making assumptions, which is exactly what your viewers and your audience is going to be doing with that content. So, what, 149 views. A little worry about how you're acquiring subscribers, but you're producing content and you've broken 1,000 views, and there are some things there that are going well. There's some good thumbnails in there. You sometimes have really good titles that tell a good story in a thumbnail as well. Just keep working on those parts of your game. And yeah, probably the big thing is try and get in front of, not in front of camera more, but let's know who's behind the channel, rather than me looking at some Fortnite gameplay with, like, a robot could be playing it. This could be a demo version of some bots running around doing stuff, as far as I'm concerned. Thank you very much, Ray Z. I didn't really mention anything about your channel name as well. Ray Z, is that your name, or how does that tie into your channel, which isn't about nostalgic gameplay? It seems to be about Fortnite predominantly at this point. What are we going to look at next? Let's see. We are 1 hour into this live stream. Hope you're enjoying it. If you are, do share it with all like-minded video creators who want some advice on how to grow their channels. And as always, I do apologize I can't review every single channel. I hope you can take the advice that I'm giving to other video creators about their channels and apply it to your own. Because there's a lot of, I'm sure if you've been watching these live streams over a couple of weeks now, I do repeat myself often and go through fundamentals. And I do that, it's because video creators sometimes make the same mistakes, or they do the same things right. It can work either way. Okay, this is going to be a very different channel to review. This is an interesting one. Are we ready? Let's take a look. Fish and Dive Hawaii. Seems very specific in its channel name. 118 subscribers. Very new channel with 7,000 views. We don't have any channel description, so if I wanted to find out more about who you are and what you do, certainly include a channel description, or if you don't have time to do a channel description just yet, explain that in your channel banner in some way. I liked it's like a nice picture in the sense that it has a rainbow and a fish, and it kind of loosely describes your channel. But does it tie into Hawaii? It's a little ambiguous on that point. It could. It's one of these where it feels a bit like a stock picture that you maybe took and you've, or like your Facebook border picture. I can't remember what they're called now. Banner picture. So this needs fleshing out a bit more, this channel banner. Tell us more about what you do. Are you fishing for a certain type of fish in Hawaii? Whereabouts in Hawaii do you fish? Are you using, what type of diving are you doing? If you can encapsulate that into the story of your channel banner, that would certainly help. No channel trailer yet, so I can't find out more about you specifically, but we can see from the thumbnails what you're doing, which seems to be spearfishing predominantly. Let's have a look at your thumbnails, because it looks as if you are starting to evolve your thumbnails. I can clearly see that. So these first thumbnails where it was just big text, perhaps getting in the way of the thumbnail, or the text was blending a little bit into the background, especially in that one where it's difficult to read the text and I can't see. There's a Mavic drone in the background there, but I don't think it's about a Mavic drone. It looks as if it's about a fishing knot. But yeah, in these last two, there is certainly some much improved thumbnails. Like this one's a really good thumbnail. I like this because it just gives you a bit of teasing information, like the biggest fish I've ever caught. Okay, that's a good title. It's reinforced by the thumbnail and it tells you about how the weight of it. It may be that you've almost teased too much in that thumbnail, but it's a good thumbnail and a good storytelling. And I like that you have branding here in that you have consistent font and color. If you want to maybe include a channel logo, you could perhaps think about doing that next. But I would definitely say that this is your best thumbnail. I think you've been rewarded with that by having one of your higher view videos, because some seem to drop into the 200s. Average seems to be about 400. You occasionally get ones that jump out from 400. So yeah, good stuff there in terms of the evolving of your thumbnails. This one here, though, maybe that's a little bit too busy. Like if it's laws or regulations, you probably maybe want to include some sort of, I don't know, red traffic light or warning sign or something more general. Maybe like a fish behind a warning sign. Think about more one topic rather than all these fish, because I can see that they're fish, but I don't know what that's telling me. Is that telling me that I can't fish for these fish, or these are the ones that are allowed? Like a tick or a cross might better tell a story. Maybe include one of those fish, just as an idea. But again, you have the branding there, which is good. So going forward, that's definitely something that you want to continue to use. And just as an example of like the opposite, where it's a bad thumbnail and maybe you're going off topic, the best fishing speaker, I can hardly see the text. The icons repeated don't really do anything. I can't see the speaker because it's hidden behind this text. And when you drift off topic, so you're talking about a speaker when really it's a diving channel, needs to tie in really well, and it hasn't done the job there, and that's probably why you've got 50 views. So you probably learned that lesson. It looks as if you definitely have learned that lesson of maybe that's not the way forward with that thumbnail. Let's make some improvements, and I've already got some immediate returns. Just this last video, though, seems to go in a completely different direction now. And it's another departure again from... So you're exploring an aquarium, but you include SpongeBob SquarePants, like a big focused in picture. And maybe that's not telling a good enough story about what that's about. So I think these two thumbnails here going forward are definitely good ones to have. What's your most popular video? It was this one. How to... it's your oldest, is it? No, this one here. Spearfishing. So spearfishing, yeah, so... When you include spearfishing in the title and in the thumbnail, that tends to be the more successful ones. So do you find that your audience engages more with your spearfish? I'm starting to get my lips twisted here. Spearfishing tends to be your more successful content. So maybe you want to focus on that theme specifically, just as an experiment moving forward. I'm just trying to determine like your gear ones, fishing knots, and the speaker ones, and how to set up a fishing rig. They tend to get less views, but where the videos are actually about maybe catching fish in a particular way and how to cook those fish, those tend to be the more popular videos. So within your niche, I'm already identifying a couple of things where you've had more successful videos. Let's look at this biggest fish one, see how well optimized you are. Yeah, so there's optimization opportunities here. If you're doing spear fishing, you probably want to include the name of a fish that you caught when you did that spear fishing. Like we have, again, tags that are not misleading, but they're just confusing to YouTube. Hawaii is perhaps too broad. So like Hawaii spearfishing may be a much more appropriate tag to use in a video like this. And if you look, they're all single tag keywords. So let's do an experiment here. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but let's go for, if I can spell it right. Here we go. So just by typing in Hawaii SPE, we're getting these specific keywords. So you could be using Hawaii spearfishing 2018, and the search term isn't that high, but if you look at a channel here with 35 subscribers and a 1,000 view video, 100 subscribers, 1,000 view video, 240 subscribers, 16,000 view video. If you just optimize your keywords more, you may start to appear in search terms for these niche areas. So definitely opportunities to look at here in terms of optimization and keywords. Absolutely. I'm glad I spotted that. And again, you could maybe put Hawaii spearfishing, the biggest fish I ever caught. But no, I think that title's actually pretty good, actually. It works as is. And you're getting a few comments and engaging with them, which is good. Maybe a little optimization required on the titles, which may be a little long. But again, it's probably been cut off here. So you could probably get away with that not being seen in the title preview. But yeah, tags definitely. Add more tags, long tail keywords, as we've just seen. And description is, again, it's like a Twitter size description. You can include more keywords in there. And yeah, this Hatch Custom Spear Gun, you've ranked 30 for Hatch Customs. Let's just do a quick search for that and see if you could rank for particular equipment on spearfishing, I guess. So yeah, channel here with 240 subscribers, 7,000 views. Yeah, I can see there's some real opportunities here. There's small channels getting a lot of views by being at the top of the keyword search for very niche areas. So I think you've definitely got some opportunities here. It's an underserved area of YouTube. And again, going back to the Porsche garage time example, where there may only be 5,000 to 10,000 people searching for this topic. But if you can capture all of them as a invested audience, rather than the 2 or 3 million people who are probably searching for Hawaii, and then they see a video about spearfishing and think, what's that got to do with what I'm looking for, which is maybe more likely Hawaii tourism, things to do in Hawaii, then I think there are opportunities there to really focus on your niche. So yeah, I think you have an opportunity here in terms of making yourself an authority in Hawaii spearfishing with optimized content. Quickly go through your this video. By the way, average view time 60%. Awesome. That's the highest we've seen so far in this live stream. So the people are definitely invested in your content.
Aloha guys, in this episode of Fish and Dive Hawaii, I'm going to share with you guys the biggest fish that I ever caught fishing or spearfishing, alright? So stay tuned.
That's an wow. That looks like a terrifying octopus. That's an interesting intro where you are just adding like mini B-roll clips into your content as the intro is going on. That's quite an ingenious way of doing the intro there. So the content looks good to me. Yeah, I would say at this point, Fish and Dive Hawaii, good luck. You have a fantastic opportunity here to grow your channel. Just need a bit more optimization. Let's move on from Fish and Dive Hawaii. Really interesting channel. I probably do at least 2 or 3 gaming channels a week, and maybe a tech channel, and maybe like a young person's vlog or prank channel, but Hawaii diving, something really specific, and that was really interesting to look at. Just loading up the next channel now. And that will come up very shortly. Okay, 3, 2, 1. We are moving on to 731 Woodworks. DIY how-to and tool reviews. So already I'm thinking that this is going to be a channel where evergreen content and videos which you can make which rank highly in search terms, so people are always trying to find out information about this content, would be good. I guess if it's about Woodworks, could you be maybe a little more specific in the banner? It like has a woodwork background, but maybe you could include an image of like the best thing that you've built on your channel, perhaps. And I think we have a bit of a generic value proposition here. DIY how-to and tool reviews. Is there a way you could spruce this up? Like, I'm going to think of something really stupid here, like varnishing... How can I put this? Varnishing your way to woodwork perfection. Just as a really quick idea for a value proposition. Welcome to 731 Woodworks. Check out our awesome videos for woodwork tips, how-tos, DIYs, projects, and tool reviews. We're learning more and more each day and love sharing our knowledge. As always, follow all of our manufactured guidelines and safety precautions. So yeah, maybe... I think what I'm trying to say is I can still follow what your channel's about, which is good, but maybe it needs to be a bit more specific, and you could include maybe a bit more specific keywords, like particular sorts of materials that you use or the techniques that you use might be worth including in some of the descriptions here, just to get a bit more of a general understanding. Let's rewind though and look at the channel. It started just under a year ago, 85,000 views, 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations to you for hitting those landmarks. I'm guessing you're more or less near the monetization stage with 4,000 hours of watch time, probably, so congratulations there. Do you have a channel intro? Yes, you do. It's a minute long. Let's
hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by 731 Woodworks YouTube channel. We really appreciate you being here. We would love nothing more than to have you hit that subscribe button wherever it's at, and hit the little bell for us if you want to keep up with what's going on this.
Okay, just one piece of advice there is get them to subscribe at the end of your intro. Don't because you haven't told them why they should subscribe yet. So yeah, maybe just include that at the end in the end screens. Try and get into what your channel's about as soon as possible. But that's like a small thing on the fact that you do have a good channel intro here. Let's watch a little more.
This channel, you're going to see DIY tips, tricks, how-tos, as well as tool reviews, and then our builds. Some of our more popular builds, you can check them out. The dog kennel, as well as the farmhouse end tables. And I'm building one now that I think is going to be pretty popular.
So I would have maybe included the next 15 seconds of your intro as the first 15 seconds of your intro, when you're already into B-roll, showing the sort of things that you made. So you mentioned dog kennels. That might be something that might be worth mentioning if you like specialize in making dog kennels, just as an idea.
Stay tuned for that. If you want to follow us on social media, we're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest at 731 Woodworks, and then also 731woodworks.com. Thank you so much for watching. We'd love to get feedback from you if you're building what we're building or you're using our stuff to guide you. We'd really love to see those pictures, so send them to us on social media. Also, if you have any tips or tricks for us.
Yeah, so the intro's just going on a little bit too much now. I would definitely, there was like 5 to 10 seconds there when you got into the B-roll about showing the sort of things that you make and describing some of the items that you've made. I would focus much more on that and less of the getting the viewer to make some sort of digital purchase, I guess, in subscribing and or sharing their content on social media. They're not that invested yet. They need to know what your channel's about. So just a few things to maybe rework on your channel intro there. Okay, so you got most recent uploads. You can see that you're posting videos on a regular basis every week, roughly, it looks like there. So you got some popular uploads there. So yeah, it looks as if your channel has been successful with the indoor dog kennel. Not by far. So you've got a couple of couple of viral videos for your channel so far, which is good. We'll try and investigate why you had breakthroughs there. Lots of playlists, so it's good to see that you've spent time on your playlist and you're putting in descriptions. But again, just think more about how to optimize your playlist. Tool reviews, again, it's too broad. That could be bike tools for all I know when I'm doing a search, or for YouTube's indexing. It would be much more woodcraft varnishing tools or woodcraft. I can't think of a word. What would you do other than woodcraft? Yeah, I can't think of a word. I was going to say woodcraft impact tools, and that just sounds utterly ridiculous. But yeah, just more specific playlist keywords as such. Plenty there, though, in your channel layout, which is good. So have a look at some of your videos in terms of branding. And so there's some good things here and some not so good things here. What I like is that you have some branding. So you're using this border. It looks like maybe when the picture doesn't quite fit the thumbnail. But the fact that you use it consistently in all your videos is good. It looks as if you're changing your thumbnail style quite a lot. You had this YouTube button here with the speech bubble. That's now changed to this idea, which I think the Doberman has done very successfully, where you have maybe 3 lines of text in different colors, so that stands out. The one thing, I think that's a good aspect, but the thing that we're not really seeing here is the focus of the particular video story, like top woodwork tools for under $100. I can't see anything in that thumbnail other than what seems to be a pallet table and you. It would be much better if you had maybe one of those products really out in front and you can see a very clear picture of it. That would be much better. And again, here, top 5 woodworking tools for under $25. I can't really see anything there other than yourself. So think about if there's 5 woodwork tools, think about the most important one and maybe put that front and center, and then maybe put a price next to it, other than a picture of you and items that, as you can see in this thumbnail preview, are far too small to pick out. See if I can find a good example of a thumbnail like these ones here, where we can see the drawer is better. And this is a really good one here because it's an action thumbnail where we can clearly, it's a bed frame, so that's clearly identified, and the fact that you're actually using it and we can see it clearly, that's a much better thumbnail because it's much more focused, and that's probably why one of the reasons you've got 2,000 views on it. This is a good example here. Although it's a very basic thumbnail, at least you're being very clear about what the video is about. So thinking back to your top tools under $100, you can include a picture like this, but then maybe a $sign and like $17 next to it. Just so there's a bit of a story being told as, hey, look, one of the tools in this video is even cheaper than $25. But I will say, for the number of videos that you've produced, which is around about 30 to 40, you're having some good traction here. Let's have a look at the most popular videos. Well, I remember one of them was a dog kennel. I hope it's got a big, bad thumbnail of a dog. Maybe you and the Doberman could collaborate here to build the Doberman a new kennel for his many dogs. So even though this video is very popular, the kennel is kind of blocked by the text, so there's still room for improvement potentially in this video. But I want to know why it was so successful, so let's jump into it. Probably some really good keyword tags that you've used here. Is there a gap in the market for DIY dog
Hey, it's
kennels?
Matt. Just want to thank you for watching my videos. Just give you a heads up, this video is one of the longest ones I've ever made, 30 minutes or so. I did have to take a lot
Look at the video scorecard. Delighted to see that it's
of steps in building this
perfectly
kennel, and I hope
optimized. Stop that video. Delighted to see that you perfectly optimized it. Good to see. Oh wow, look at this. I love to see video tags where it's just where everything is ranked. So folks, this is perfect in terms of the tags that we looked at before, which were a bit more general and there weren't enough tags. Look at how specific and how long tail these keywords are. DIY indoor dog kennel. That clearly categorizes the video. How to make a dog kennel. DIY dog crate. How to build a dog kennel. How to build an indoor dog kennel. Building an indoor dog kennel. Building a dog kennel for big dogs. Build dog kennel table. DIY indoor kennel. All of these tags are really focusing down on exactly what the topic of the video is. And it can have a huge impact. It doesn't always work. But when it does work, this video, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, we can do the search. It's going to be #1 on all of them. And for the ones it doesn't rank for, like dog kennel, that's a much bigger search term probably than all the others. Maybe hard to rank, but at least it helps categorize the rest of the content and all the tags. So yeah, I would say here Woodcraft, excellent example of where you've made a perfectly optimized video and you've been rewarded for it with a video that has 20 times your subscriber base. And let's see, anything else that we can see here? Slightly, well, it's a half-an-hour video, so it's always going to be more difficult to get the average view duration up. But 20% from 33 minutes is still like 7 to 8 minutes, so that's still good in terms of YouTube's algorithm, looking at watch time as a highly important metric. This is how I built a multi-purpose dog kennel that doubles as a console table. This kennel not only looks great, but doubles as a media table or sofa table. Perfect for housing your dogs and puppies while you're away from home. So some good reinforcements of keywords there. So congratulations, 731 Woodworks. That's a good example of when you've really optimized your video. Let's have a look at a more recent one and see if you continue to do the same thing. How to build a desk with drawers. Let's do this one. Now again, this is one where I'm aware of it because it's a 3-parter. You have to tell your audience to go and watch the previous 2 parts, which may really switch them off. So it might be best just to combine this into one video. This one's 15 minutes long, so maybe it needs to go.
Welcome to the last video in this series of the 3 of 3.
See if you use a similar sort of tags here, though. Yeah, so you are using a similar sort of tags, and this is sometimes where it doesn't work quite as well. But again, the tags, these are the sort of tags you should be using. Building a computer desk with drawers, how to build a computer desk with drawers, how to build a farmhouse desk with drawers, DIY farmhouse desk with drawers, building a desk with drawers. So again, good long tail keywords. And if we look at it from this perspective of the fact that it got 200 views from 1,000 subscribers, probably not that good. Let's see how the first part of this series went, if I can find it. So how to build a desk drawer. Yeah, so can you see how the interest waned in this series as it went along? The first one had 500 views, the second one 250 views, and then the last one 200 views. And that's the problem you sometimes have with an audience when you're trying to get them to watch multi-part videos, especially on a how-to. It's like, God, this is going to be this is going to be 3 videos of 45 minutes. That's a lot. So when a video is self-contained, it helps a lot more. But I feel as if your optimizing your content very well, Woodcraft. Some really good positive things being seen here. This is why you're having these breakthrough videos where something is really good. I suppose the ultimate question is, have you been able to identify which videos are more successful? It looks as if your how to build tutorials are the most successful ones. Although there is a mix actually. In the top 10 videos, it is, 7 of the videos are how-to builds, or 6, and then there are others where it's a product review, and those are doing very well. So I would bet again as well that you've absolutely nailed your keywords here and been really specific about the product. The DeWalt DWS 779 12-inch sliding compound milter saw. You could stick review on the end of that. Might help with the optimization a little bit. So yeah, again, look at how the longer tail keywords are the ones where you're more dominant.
I bought this about 6 months ago, so I've used it quite a bit.
The video there.
Probably been about 8.
It might be worth just front-loading these tags towards the top and these more broader keywords more towards the bottom to help you there. I would also say one thing, just from a point of view of, are you using affiliate links? Because people may be watching these reviews and they maybe want to buy it. If you've got an affiliate link there, you'll get a bit of a kickback from the purchase of these products. So certainly something to consider there. As well as, I guess, you're providing a service. Maybe people are watching your videos and you're getting business out of that as well, which would be good. So there we have it, folks. 731 Woodworks. Maybe a bit more of an emphasis on what you do in your branding. Slightly better thumbnails on some occasions. But just keep it up with your optimization. When you get the optimization right and the YouTube algorithm identifies your content and categorizes it properly, you get some really good results with the content that you're doing. I guess the one last thing is that it can always be a little hard to get subscribers for how-to educational channels, because usually viewers are coming to get an answer to one particular thing. They get the answer and then they disappear. So that might be a little hard to build a community. So I guess that's maybe a bit of a struggle that you have on your channel. And maybe you may have to think of techniques of how to get these people more invested in your content so that they are subscribing more often and posting more comments. I'm just looking, yeah, let me just put the screen back on. The social engagement is pretty bad, and that's not a surprise for a product review. There may be people with specific questions about the product, but how interested are they in you as a video creator? That's where the lines can get a little blurred when you're doing product reviews along those lines. But anyway, good stuff there from 731 Woodworks. And now let's move on to our next video channel. I'll just bring this up here. As usual, another epic live stream. Big thank you to the two moderators, Extra Sessions Media, the Doberman, and Anna's Adventures Toy Review. Hello from you. All helping with moderation there. I do appreciate it. I'm just going to bring up this next channel to review. It should be coming up very shortly. Here we go. On to... I'm not even sure how to pronounce this channel name. It's ST1KA. Sticker, would you pronounce that possibly? It's the Retro Corner. Reviews, live streams, and developer interviews on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we get a good idea of your content. This is the second time, wow, like I haven't seen a Sega Saturn controller for years, and then two appear in live streams one after the other. You have 1,300 subscribers. 73,000 views. You've been on YouTube for quite a while, so we don't know when you actually started making videos. Dedicated to reviewing retro video games and their packaging, live streams, retro games, and developer interviews. So you're reviewing all sorts of stuff from the ages, and we can see that in your graphics, which is good. You may want to try and make this text a little bigger and shrink it down, potentially, if you can. Again, try and think of this value proposition, like retro reviews for retro gamers, as a very simple idea, but it probably needs a bit more sprucing up for your target audience, just as a thought. You haven't got a channel trailer, but I can see some good thumbnails here. Excellent thumbnails, actually. Really bright and clear. Let's have a look at your videos. So you have your most recent uploads, so we can tell that you upload a couple of times a week, I think. Wow, you did a 4-hour live stream. That's commitment. I'm exhausted after 2, so well done there. So you've got some playlists with descriptions, which I like, and they are a bit more YouTube search friendly. Sega Master System reviews. Again, could add a little more description to those, but generally good. Let's have a look at your videos. Just quickly scrolling down here, get an idea of the theme. So some very clear branding here. Purple is definitely the theme of this channel, and the logo here is always used, which is excellent. The one thing I would probably say, just looking at these, is the text is perhaps a little too dominant on some of these. Like a classic example here of repeating text in the thumbnail and the title. It would be much better if you said Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver review, had a bigger picture of Soul Reaver on, and maybe some teaser of what you think of it. Maybe like a tomato squashing his head if you didn't like it, or a big green tick next to it, or like a question mark out of 10, or something that complements the title rather than just regurgitating it. Yeah, another one here. Tanglewood interview, a new Genesis game. It blocks out a little bit the Mega. No, it's not. What was it? A Mega Drive. Yeah, it blocks out the Mega Drive there, and maybe it'd be better to include an icon of a microphone or something along those lines. I'm just seeing text here that doesn't really help us explain anymore the thumbnail. So certainly something to maybe tweak a little bit there. Let's have a look at your most popular videos. So you haven't really had any breakthrough videos just yet. I mean, you've got a few that are like 4x your view count. So 1,000 subscribers, sorry, 4x your subscriber count. So 1,000 subscribers, and then some videos here with 5,000 views, 4,000 views. It doesn't surprise me that this particular thumbnail here, this video gets has got some views. It has that kind of clickbaity element to it, and yeah, we're definitely not going to be clicking on that one. But it's a good topic to cover if you think you can produce that video in a safe way for your viewers. Then yeah, I think it's a good topic to look at. And maybe 5 retro games which were banned. Yeah, you can maybe think about controversial games, or this good idea of lists in retro games, like 5 retro games that didn't have an ending, or the 5 best Easter eggs in games. So potential list opportunity there, and a series in that particular area. What else have we got here? Yeah, I would like to see less text and more emphasis on the content of a thumbnail would be good. Is there anything you can capitalize on here? Not that I'm too aware of. I think let's just go back to your regular videos and see how connected your audience is with your content. So you're getting a fairly decent view count versus subscriber count, like 500 views to 1,000 subscribers, 1,300. Some of them don't do as well though, so you may need to identify which topics viewers are not particularly interested in. And wow, a 5-hour live stream there. A 4-hour live stream. I feel as if I'm being put in my place here a little bit. A good question is, how do you find the live streams? Are you getting a good watch time from those live streams? Are they worth doing? It seems as if you still get a decent amount of views from these live streams, which is good to see. Oh, and is this you? Is that the first time we see you on screen? That's an interesting thing. We've not seen you at all in the thumbnails other than that one. So rather than the text, maybe we need to have you in the thumbnail with your impression, like a pose, whatever you may think is appropriate. Let's look at an average video review then, 14-minute one. Some very good engagement there, 46 likes, 0 dislikes. Fairly decent average view duration for a 15-minute video. How are your keywords? And I think your keywords are relatively good. Soul Reaver 1 Dreamcast review, very specific. Was it on the Dreamcast? Yeah, it was. I think I played it on the PlayStation. I never got into it though. So Soul Reaver review, you're ranking for quite a broad keyword there, which is good. And your keywords seem very specific to the content that you're looking at. So again, I think there's some good optimization there. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver review. Keywords reinforced, repeated. And I think you're being rewarded for that with your SEO score and general decent view count. I mean, and there's some good engagement here, like 50 comments from 500 views. Yeah, incredible engagement. I would agree with you there. So is that from a core audience that comes back to your content? I think that would certainly be something interesting and good to know. And hey, look, it's from Portugal. So Doberman, you have a fellow Portuguese YouTuber there. Maybe you can do some sort of collab. What was the best dog-based video game for the 16-bit generation? Let's have a look at 30 seconds of your video.
Blood Omen may not have been perfect, but the strong and charismatic main character earned it a cult following which still lasts to this day. Sadly, it suffered from a turbulent development process plagued by delays and conflict between Silicon Knights and their publisher/co-developer Crystal Dynamics, culminating in a legal battle between the two.
Let me just say, I love the Portuguese accent. It sounds really beautiful there and very clear. And I always praise people who are YouTubing in their second language. And yeah, awesome stuff there. It seemed like a fairly good intro. I almost said it was too long, and then you cut it off after about 9 seconds. So up the upper limit of the intro there. One thing you may want to do is include like the most important fact from the video or some sort of teasing intro rather than jumping straight into the game intro. Might be worth doing. But it seems as if this sort of video, you're doing a lot of research and it's going to be very interesting, and that's probably why the view duration is relatively high for a 15-minute video. So I'd say you're doing some good stuff there. I think the one thing is you never on screen. It looks like it's all video game footage, so I can imagine these take a long time to edit. I know how long content can take to edit when you're doing what sounds to be your scripting your content and then editing it all to fit your narration. So again, big credit there. And I think there's some good stuff here. You've clearly defined your content, which is retro gaming. So that's awesome. I think just continue to grow at this point. What is there anything else I could maybe say about this? I don't think so. It's pretty much ticking. Right. So yeah, ticking all the boxes other than the thumbnails, where I think you could ditch the text or ditch a lot of the text and make the thumbnails more powerful. But the branding wise, it's very good. And yeah, I'm still not sure how to pronounce your game channel either. It's like Sticker or ST1K. Makes it a little confusing, but fair enough. And are you going to appear more in front of camera? Maybe a thought as you continue to develop your channel. Okay, we have now reached the stage of the live stream where my voice is getting a little tired and parched, and I've run out of drink. So it's over to you folks to help me with this final channel review for this live stream, which is going to be... moderators, if you can send me a channel to review now. I think Doberman's just jumped in there. I need a channel to review, and what's going to happen in this one is that you folks in the live chat are going to give your thoughts. I've been sharing all of the advice that I can muster over the last 2 hours, so I want you folks to be the leaders in this one to help us help the channel that we're going to look at in about 20 seconds. And I will be reading out your comments. I may try and lead you with some questions, but yeah, it's all about you and helping out this YouTuber with their channel. This one seems very similar. Have I looked at this one before? No, I don't think I have. I'm just waiting for it to load up, and then you'll hear that bell sound one more time. Fingers crossed, by the way. Maybe not next week, but the week after, you may see a bit of a redesign and an improvement to the live streams, but I'll leave that as a little bit of a secret for now. Right, last channel review of the day goes to JW Tutors Studios. Folks, start making comments in the live chat and I will be reading them out. What do you think of JW Tutors Studio? 225,000 subscribers. Wow. What do you think of this channel? Let us know in terms of what you can see to begin with. Branding gets a thumbs up from Sunet Van Wyk. The Turtle Girl says the banner is awesome. Definitely good art. I see an upload schedule in the banner. Very nice. Yes, we can see one there. Very good. So good banner. So Sticker, I'm going to call you Sticker for now. Watching the banner art. I don't know what the channel is about yet. So something interesting to consider there. I mean, you maybe can see the little icons there, which may give you a bit of a clue. And the fact that we have some icons here seems to suggest it's a tech channel. Yeah, obviously some of us are going to struggle a little bit with the language barrier, but let's not try and judge a channel on that. I'll just check the about stage section, see if there is anything in English that would help. Yeah, here we go, some stuff in English. Much more than tutorials, a world of possibilities surrounded by technology and knowledge. Here you will find tutorials, tips, entertainment, vlogs, and a guy wanting his place in the world. Interesting comment here from Liquid Ocelot. Foreign channels are a fish in a smaller pond, hence they can get successful more easily. And that is relatively true. I mean, this channel started in 2014, 30 million views. So over the course of 4 years, they've managed to build up a channel with 222 subscribers. So awesome. Like, this may be one of the leading tech channels in... I think it's Spanish, is it? Yeah, it must be Spanish or Portuguese. Sorry if I'm getting the language wrong there. Oh, so it's Portuguese. Thank you, Doberman. So it is Portuguese. Oh, the channel is Brazilian. Right, okay. So thank you for the clarification there that it is a Brazilian channel. So one of these emerging YouTube markets, definitely Brazil. Let's go have a look more at the channel layout. See if you can tell me anything from what we can see from the playlists. And again, try and put the language to the back of your mind. Maybe think about the thumbnails here. We may not be able to pick out too much from the titles, but there are sort of any general themes that you can see here. Pretty stacked number of thumbnails, where playlists we can see here. Lots of playlists. Yeah, the thumbnails seem concise. They seem clear to me. Let's have a look at the videos in particular. So Pegasus Angel Gameplay is saying JW Tutorials Studio makes sense. It can be hard to make something in a language that is not your native tongue. Everything good so far from Purple Nerd. Branding seems on point. Nurgling says the channel has a lot of thumbnails with himself on them. Good to show personality, something that he doesn't do himself. Sticker is saying great thumbnails, but not enough branding in my opinion. Okay, so maybe there needs to be improvement in branding. We can see just in the bottom left-hand corner the logo there, but maybe it needs to be expanded a little bit, just so it's clearer to see on these smaller thumbnails potentially. Something that's interesting to me is that you have 222,000 subscribers, but your view counts seem relatively small, like 1,000 views, 1,200. I wonder why that is. Is it because you are switching? Is it because you're switching between different technologies and that's not resonating with your audience, perhaps? Just looking at your most popular videos. We do have some of these breakout videos. So, yeah, again, especially in an emerging market, if you can produce content in that language first about trending topics, you'll get 3 million views and 1 million views. So I wouldn't be surprised if you got a lot of subscribers just from that video itself. But yeah, some nice graphics being used as well, and special effects being used in the thumbnails. Everything seems generally great. And yeah, it looks as if you're a younger YouTuber. Maybe, I'm guessing here, but maybe you're in your late teens and you've already got a channel like of 200,000 subscribers. So awesome work there. Brilliant stuff in 4 years. It's fantastic to see. Somebody's wanting to have the upload schedule translated. Okay, let's have a look, just a general video. I do apologise here, JW Tutor Studio, in that it's a little difficult for people whose Portuguese is not their first language to give specific feedback on maybe titles and stuff. But looking from your thumbnails, it seems to be that you concentrate mostly on apps, best applications, maybe you've got some maybe opinions on YouTube. You've also looked at some mobile PC stuff. So a broad range of technology, which is maybe why sometimes some videos get more views than others, perhaps. I'm just going to pick a random slightly successful video. Let's go. But just an example here is where you go on to like an unboxing of a webcam. You see how poorly this video performs against everything else. It must be that people aren't really interested in PC accessories. They're much more interested in your maybe PC hardware reviews and content and application reviews. So I'm going to pick this one here. We'll watch the first 20 seconds.
Fala pessoal, aqui é o Jonathan Williams, sejam bem-vindos a mais um vídeo deste canal. E dessa vez eu estou continuando aqui a série dos melhores aplicativos para celular. E hoje eu estou aqui com mais 5 aplicativos extremamente úteis que você pode baixar aí no seu Android de graça. Esses são alguns aplicativos que eu utilizo em meu celular e tenho certeza que vocês irão gostar porque são muito.
Okay, so I think from the first 20 seconds we can clearly see that there's a lot of good things going on. It's very high, fast-paced, good editing, graphics coming up, moving from angle to angle. Yeah, good production quality, as Extra Sessions Media is saying there, which is excellent stuff. View duration 40% is okay for a 5-minute video. Optimization seems pretty good. No cards though. Do you not include cards in any of your videos? You may be missing a great opportunity there to share your content with the viewers as they're watching your videos. So make sure you include cards if you can. A very healthy channel, like 4,000 subscribers a month is awesome. I think you've really established yourself as one of the, I guess, top Brazilian tech tubers. So make sure you keep that up. But your keywords don't seem to be making much of an impact. And you've put your channel keywords at the top. So there may be wasted keyword opportunities. By all means, include your channel keyword in there, but maybe put it towards the lower down in the list. And yeah, maybe do a bit more research in keywords for your in your language, because it doesn't look as if they're ranking very well, despite the size of your channel. Something to look at there. Okay, so thanks for the group feedback there. I do apologise. I didn't realise that when we were looking at this channel, it was going to be another language and it may be more difficult to review. So just a few more comments, I think. The Turtle Girl, it's nice. If anything, camera quality could just be a bit better, but it could be just because the video is having some come through live stream. Yes, absolutely. My technology and jerkiness of a live stream may be holding that back. But yeah, a channel that's that size with good tags, title and description would grow fast. So I think, yeah, Dr. Sten, you're saying that if you optimize the content even further on this channel, you've got the potential to grow even quicker than you currently are. Okay, I'm going to have one more bonus channel review, and this is because I loaded up this channel 2 hours ago. It was a backup in case we were struggling for content, but I can still see this person who's been in the live stream for 2 hours following everything we've done. So this person deserves a quick channel review as an ending to this live stream. So we are going to look at one more channel review, and that is Purple Nerd. I've seen you making comments throughout the entire chat. It's really appreciated. So let's quickly do a channel review. If you want to add your comments to this one, by all means. Small channel, 35 subscribers. If I look at the About section, you've only been YouTubing for just over a month, 2 months, 400 views, so still a very small channel. It's a channel about posting Terraria animations and lots more every week. Is this banner from Terraria? So maybe you want to think about the channel banner that you want to include here on your channel, and a bit of a value proposition could also help with that if that's the type of content that you're going to be looking at. In terms of layout, you don't have a channel intro video, but you do have a video established. I think this is your most popular one, actually, the roller coaster video. You include most recent upload playlists, which is fine. My Minecraft videos, again, maybe you might want to tweak that, make it more specific if you can about Minecraft. Big area, lots of people making Minecraft videos, so definitely think about that. Thumbnail wise, looks as if you're just taking screenshots from the game itself, so maybe think about the thumbnail that you want to include in your video. And Let's Play Minecraft number 2, that really doesn't tell a good story from the video. What's it about? If you're playing Minecraft, maybe include more about the highlight of the video would be much better there. However, saying all this, you're a channel which has only been going for a month, and you have, what was it, about 300 views. Some of your videos are getting double figures. but I don't see any Terraria videos. So it looks as if Minecraft's where you're starting. If you want to do Minecraft videos, absolutely start experimenting with different ideas for Minecraft. The most successful ones seem to be where you put in roller coaster rides, so people could see it from the thumbnail that it was Minecraft. It looks to be, and maybe you can do themed Minecraft theme park videos like Disneyland in Minecraft or Pirates of the Caribbean as built in Minecraft. So that could be an early idea, but you're still very early on in your video production process, so I don't want to get too critical there. I mean, actually your Let's Play Minecraft videos are the best performing ones, it looks like. 40 views, 14 views, and this one 21 views. But you haven't posted in a week. Maybe you can post a new video soon. Aha, here we go. No video tags. Make sure you include video tags to optimize your content. So you want to be including Let's Play Minecraft, Minecraft Let's Play, Beginners Let's Play Minecraft, and any themes that would associate the video with Minecraft would certainly help. But you've still got 6 views, and you've got 7 comments, and you're engaging with them. So there's some potential good start there to engagement. A small audience, but potentially a growing one. Let's just play 15 seconds of the video. Do you do any narration during this live stream? I think you said it was. I can't hear anything, so I'm not sure if you do narrate your live streams. Oh, there you are. I can hear you now. We'd want much more involved commentary though. Like, why have you just gone into this cave? Are you trying to build something, kill something? Yeah, make sure that the video is trying to tell as good a story as possible. And best of luck, Purple Nerd. I wanted to include a quick review of your channel because you have been very committed to this live stream, as have all of you. Really much appreciated. We've been here for another 2-hour live stream session, and it has been awesome, guys. Just want to give you a quick update as to next week. There will be no channel review live stream next week, as I am going to a conference. There may be a channel review on Monday live stream, but I'll certainly post on social media, and I'll schedule the live stream so that you know that it is on Monday. But it definitely won't be on Tuesday next week, as I will not be in the vidIQ studio. So, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for contributing to this live stream. It's always awesome talking to you guys and trying to help you out with your channels. And we saw some good sort of stories there with how to use some keywords and opportunities with channels where if they just optimize their keywords, they could be potentially growing even faster, which would be awesome for them. And then the usual stuff with sort of branding, looking at thumbnails. How can you tell a better story where the title complements the thumbnail and the thumbnail potentially teases something to the audience. All great stuff as usual. Just checking if there were any more super chats in the live stream today. I don't believe there were. And so it just leaves me to say thank you very much as always to the dedicated moderators here spending their time making sure that the chat is constructive. Very much appreciated. And thank you everybody for taking the time out of your day to help other video creators with their channels. You know how this finishes. Enjoy the rest of your video making day, and I'll see you all again on Friday. Bye for now.